It's April 15th, and Atiq Lucas is back at St. Anthony's High School, where he started running back for the Friars. However, not only was his level of play elevated, but so was his ability to handle adversity.
I remember it was like a 4th and 3, and came to the sideline, the crowd is intense, the crowd's like, go for it, go for it. Coach looks at me, he's like, T, we can get this? Of course, I get the ball, plays clogged up, the hole's not there. It's a cutback, take the cutback lane. I get the first, I'm running. While I'm getting the first, I make contact, collision. My foot gets caught underneath him, and I just hear it break.
The 22-year-old Brooklyn native led the Red Foxes last season with 820 rushing yards and 11 rushing touchdowns. Though, when you look into his eyes, you can see the dream of doing this started at a young age.
Football started when I was 5 years old, actually. I was in karate. My dad was just like, look, you're not doing karate. You're going to play football. When I went to St. Anthony's High School, they were known for not only winning championships, but also producing very good student athletes.
In my position as principal, I get to know many students in this building. Early on, I realized that Atiq is a pretty extraordinary individual.
He's, a really good role model at this school, and people look up to him and remember him as a student and as an athlete.
Being able to juggle football and the classroom, Atiq showed his dedication to his future. After dominating for the Friars freshman team, Atiq was called up to the varsity team. When they lost the state championship his sophomore season, he came into his junior season with a vengeance to return to the state championship for St. Anthony's.
Going into the season, I was fully prepared to take it over, so I realized, that this was going to be something, this was going to be a year for me to really break out and solidify myself as a big-time player.
His hard work over the summer paid off. Attributing almost 7 yards per carry and 6 touchdowns, Atiq returned the state championship to St. Anthony's.
I went into that summer season really preparing myself to potentially play college football. I was getting plenty of letters, getting letters from everywhere from Florida to Boston College to Syracuse to Rutgers to Purdue, and I knew big-time football seemed to be the highway or the trail that I was leading to. Kicking off the senior season, we actually lost, which is a big blow to me. We lost the first game. I had like 1 rushing yard. So coming off of that tough loss, we really bounced back, and I had a string of really impressive games. I scored a lot of touchdowns, and I was really bringing in a lot of college scouts and a lot of college attention. They all wanted to come and see me play.
The ability to change direction so quickly was the reason Atiq tore into defenses at the start of his senior season. However, something else was going to quickly change direction for Atiq, his football career. His future looked blurry.
I'll always hear a sound in the back of my head of my bone cracking, and I just remember feeling the pain that's just beyond words. I just remember being on the ground, looking up at the lights and just not hearing anything.
When one is in a situation where it really matters, often when you are in some type of a medical crisis or a spiritual crisis, you really can determine one's character.
When the ambulance came, they put me on the lift, and I remember the principal of the school, Brother Gary, he went to the ambulance with me.
I saw this man as he was brought onto the ambulance, and as I went into the ambulance with him, holding his hand and covering his eyes because the light was right in there, I remember Atiq saying, my future is over. I have no future anymore because of this.
Coming from where I come from, a lot of people don't go to college, and I always assumed that football was my ticket to college. So when I got hurt, that was real detrimental to me because it felt like everything I had worked up to was gone. Everything that I had built crumbled on a play. They tried to cast my leg, and it didn't work out. It was a horizontal break. It was like a slanted break. So when they casted it, it slipped. I'm like, wow, cast. Actually, I was out cold, and it woke me up, and I yelled, and it passed back out.
Atiq was taken to Winthrop University Hospital, where he was diagnosed with a slanted fracture of his tibia and fibula. the injury would certainly be detrimental to the rest of his playing career and his recruitment as a top running back in New York.
You know, I asked God so many times, like when I was by myself, just in the hospital, just crying, you know, like what do I do now? You know, like where do I go now? And, you know, he gave me an answer.
Although things seemed not to be going Atiq's way, a blessing would soon come out of this terrible injury.
Upon like me realizing I need surgery, I don't know, I still say that like to this day that I'm truly blessed, because one of the people that attended the game was the Giants sports center. He saw that I was injured and he just happened to come to the hospital. He said, I have no problem, I'll be here tomorrow morning to do the surgery. So I went to surgery, everything went great.
Atiq had a titanium rod inserted into his lower leg with 3 screws.
I remember being at some of these camps where I would see the same 2 guys, 3 guys, and I knew there was a competition between me and them. You know, me being injured, I knew that would just take me out of that race, and it did. Those calls stopped, those teams stopped looking for me.
As quickly as hope appeared, so did it disappear. The recruiters wanted nothing to do with him anymore. He decided to forego college and play 1 season for Suffield Academy Tigers, a preparatory school. The loss of interest only motivated Atiq more.
Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard.
Hungrier than ever, Atiq proved himself by rushing for 1,056 yards and 14 total touchdowns. His performance helped the Tigers to an undefeated season that came with the Colonial League title and a New England Super Bowl championship.
You know, going to Suffield and doing all the right things up there certainly helped him get to Marist.
One of the things that I liked about Marist before I officially decided that I wanted to come here was that through my entire process of me being injured, they stayed there.
Atiq came into Marist ready for playing time, and that's exactly what happened. As one of the few freshmen to play, he averaged 4.7 yards per carry and had 1 touchdown.
I remember the first game we played Morehead State. I remember it had to be like second half, maybe third quarter. They threw me in there, like, all right, I'm gonna give you a shot, let's play. And I remember I actually had a pretty good run. My first run was like 12 yards.
The following season, he started in 8 games and had a breakout game against conference foe Campbell with 105 all-purpose yards. After breaking his hand in a fall camp scrimmage, Atiq was forced to sit out his junior season. Coming back from his injury, Atiq not only changed his number, but helped change the Red Foxes' record. The Red Foxes went from a 4-7 season to an 8-3 season.
You know, he really lets his play do the talking. He's a demonstrative runner. He runs with force. He runs with some energy. When he gets up, you know, after being tackled or after going down, out of bounds, whatever, you know, he's an excitable guy, and I think people really feed off of that. It's an important part of our offense and important to our team altogether. It's really not a secret, or it's easy to see why his peers elected him as a captain for this coming season.
Atiq helped guide Marist to a Pioneer Football League championship by rushing for nearly 1,000 yards and 12 total touchdowns.
Had a history-making season, you know, and I'm proud of all the accomplishments that we made and all the things that we've been through to get there. All the people that told us that we couldn't do it and that we would never be able to do something like that, we proved them wrong. And, you know, it felt like all the things that I was working for paid off. You know, sometimes it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel and being able to fight through that and get through adversity. I think that was something that helped me become a man.